Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if it's your first time. Hi, I'm Adrienne. I'm in New York City. I like to talk about makeup. I like to put it on my face. I like to commiserate and just try out new stuff. And so today, and I'm looking a little crazy, I have some weird like yellowish highlight on my face. I have one eye with one color. I'm a mess, but basic because I was just right now tinkering around with makeup I have and kind of getting ideas. So this is not what we're gonna start with or what we're gonna end with. We're just gonna play and chat. And so if old school, get ready with me trying on some Miami products. Miami, either Miami brands or Miami inspired. I need to pay a little homage to my hometown. So if that's interesting to you and hearing about kind of growing up in South Florida and that craziness, stay tuned. You might enjoy this. All right, so it has been really freaking cold. It's in New York. We finally had like our winter. We have been pretty spoiled these last few, I'd say, weeks, months. We've had pretty mild days, but last night and today, it really kicked us in our butts. And I was bright enough to leave like some errands that I had to run. And by errands, as a true New Yorker, I mean, I had to walk places and get stuff done. There's no car. So, yeah, I froze my butt off. My thighs are still kind of thawing after, how long has it been? It's already been 2.5 hours since I got home. I mean, it was so cold. I had to take something to UPS, and they only let like a certain amount of people in the store, and there was a line around the block. It's just crazy. It's still so crazy. Right now, I'm just sort of removing my makeup. I'm still tinkering around with new, not new products, but some new. But I'm still forming my final opinion about Clarins and some of their products. And so I just used the Clarins micellar water. It's nice. Watch my Clarins video to find out more. Yeah, it's a nice micellar water. I like the cheap stuff. I mean, is it terrible? I'm going into the cheap stuff right now. I don't know why. The Garnier is just really good, the pink bottle one, and it doesn't irritate my eyes, and I don't know. And it's affordable, and it's good stuff. So anywho, I just wanted to wipe off makeup because I have been literally smearing stuff on my face, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And so all this cold weather has made me want to think about the fact that I come from very warm weather. And I wanted to talk about that experience because I don't know. It's funny. In New York, anytime I meet someone and I tell them, oh, I've been in New York 20 years, 20 plus years, and they ask me where I'm from and I say Miami, they're like, why the hell would you have moved from Miami to New York? And I get that response so much from Northeasterners. And yeah, I figured, well, let me talk about it. Let me talk about what it's like growing up in Miami, because I also think people have a real skewed perception of what like life in Miami is. I think life in Miami is, similar to LA in that people have this idea of like the beach and everything kind of like sunny and awesome and yeah, you definitely have those moments, but for the most part, unless you're of a certain lifestyle, which I was not born into a certain lifestyle. I was not born into the 1%. You know, you're living in suburbia in a like cookie cutter home, and just your parents are hustling, and you're going to public school and trying to make the best of the situation and trying to make your way through it all. I just actually applied the um, Good Molecule silicone free priming moisturizer. I really like this stuff. It's nighttime. I'm just playing with makeup. I'm not looking for like longevity. I'm just looking for like a nice palette to start off everything. I think for base, I'm going to, maybe I should just go for an oldie but a goodie. I'm still trying to get through my It Cosmetics CC cream, so maybe I'll just do that. It's not the right color though, but anyway. So growing up in Miami was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed myself. I grew up with just one other sister. Just one sister. That's weird. Why did I say that? And it was just the two of us. She's almost 4 years older than me, a little under 4 years, and we're now pretty close. But of course, like back then, it was like sibling rivalry. And I grew up with my grandma and my grandpa for the most part in my house, kind of helping raise us. And my grandparents, they emigrated from Colombia to Miami in I think it was the 60s. Yeah, the 60s. And it was in Miami that my parents met. They didn't know each other in Colombia. They met in Miami. And yeah, they fell in love, and the rest is history. So though they're both from Colombia, actually, both my parents. They were just not, they didn't run in the same circles in Colombia, even though they were from the same city. They were just different groups, different families. And yeah, it was just like a happy coincidence that they met. And they got married and had us, and in my house, like I said, my grandparents were there for the most part. Sometimes they lived in their own place. They kind of came back and forth, but for the most part, they were with us. And my grandfather is actually Lebanese. He just was such an amazing human being, just like the consummate gentleman, and he was just so intelligent and so kind, and I loved being raised by my grandpa. And my grandma was also just, she was just the best. She was the best. I adored her. She was just like a very kindred spirit. And so I had a lot of love in my childhood. I had a lot of love and joy, and it wasn't fraught with like no issues, but it was a pretty happy, rambunctious kind of place to exist. But like in Miami, it's so dang hot. And so my parents actually, they invested in a swimming pool. And so for me, Miami is really my swimming pool. It was my like summer kind of camp. We didn't go to summer camp or anything. We didn't go to summer school. My parents had to work, and so we just were in the pool all day long. I was like 10 shades darker than I am now. I mean, it's crazy. I just put the It Cosmetics CC cream. I mixed light and fair, a little bit of each. Pretty amazing coverage. Who already doesn't know about that? And I'm using the Alamar Cosmetics Hydrating Complexion Trio, this one here in light. And I'm going to use all of these powders. These powders are stunning. They're really stunning. I'm so impressed. I didn't expect much from this palette, But when I actually got it and I started to play with it, I saw the luminosity, the hydration, and I'm just really, really impressed with the quality. Also blends so beautifully, and it like really, really just gives the skin je ne sais quoi. So yeah, the majority of my like fun times was spent swimming in a pool all the time. I mean, like I would be a prune. I would not leave this pool for anything. I loved it. I loved swimming. I was like a fish. I was a little fish. Um, so we didn't go to the beach a lot or anything. We just like once you have a pool, it's your own like pool. You kind of become a little snob, and it's like very hard to do like communal pools and beaches. And also like my family was never into sand. Sand's a pain in the neck. I mean, me now as an adult, I actually love the beach. I love the beach. I love any kind of pool. I don't care if it's a public pool. I'm not a snob. I think being in New York and not having a beautiful beach and not having, beautiful pools, I just miss that. And so I'm less particular now. I can do with very little, very little. And so yeah, it was just a great childhood. My grandparents spoke to us in Spanish. That was the language we heard in our house. Because I am younger than my sister had already started to learn English, and she will tell you that she learned English through Sesame Street. I'm using the Colorete Blush Trio in light also from Alamar, and it's these beautiful shades here. Again, gorgeous quality. Really, really impressed with this brand, and I'm so happy they're from Miami. I'm so happy they are killing it with their product quality. These are quite pigmented, so you want to go in kind of light-handed at first, and then you can build up. And they're a little powdery, but who the hell cares? They're beautiful. And they're not quite matte, but they're not sparkly. They just have the nicest sheen to them. And you can easily put either of these palettes on your eyes. They're just really, really pretty. So this shade that I'm wearing here is the shade Romantica. This one here in the middle. It's not as nude as it looks. It definitely has more pigmentation. I will just take a little bit of Apricot Aura, this orangey, and I'll just dab that just right here, because I'm going to be very blushy today. I'm going to take some of that into my, but already I feel like super Miami. So these were the two that I used this time. But I love all of them. They're beautiful, beautiful formulation. Where was I? I was talking about, so, for us, it was always pretty tough. We were the first English speakers in our family. Like my mom was pretty good with English, and she was working in an environment where she was really practicing it. My dad was pretty good too. But it's just different. We were like really the first native English speakers in my family. And that leads to a lot of hilarity. In fact, we always talk about there's this brilliant show that used to be on PBS locally down south called Que Pasa USA, which means what happened USA. And basically it's about a Cuban family and that they immigrate to the US, and you have this multi-generational household where the grandparents live in the household. They don't speak any English. The parents are kind of like straddling both worlds of like raising young teenagers who are like trying to be so American and push from their kind of Cuban roots, and you just see kind of the chaos that ensues. And it was such a good show, so well written. And I feel like if you really see that, That is the Miami experience of growing up, especially if you're of Latin descent. If your family is like immigrated and they, are just trying to find their way through. I mean, that show I nails it on the head. It's perfect. The show is perfect. It's perfect. It's hilarious. Even if you don't speak Spanish, it's hilarious to watch. I have to say the One Day at a Time show, like the reboot that they did on Netflix for where the family's a Cuban family that's based in Los Angeles, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. Although that one has like more kind of like tries to do the laugh tracks and stuff, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It has its real good genuine moments. I actually have two Alamar Cosmetics palettes. These two. I have the Reina del Caribe Volume 1. That's this one here. Really beautiful shades. I don't have the Volume 2. I think that's a palette of theirs. And then I also have the Spanglish palette, which is this one here. Some gorgeous colors. So I think I'm going to use a little bit of both. The Spanglish palette is the one that's available. I don't know if they're going to come out with this one again. I think they should. I think it's a beautiful palette. They can even kick up the formulation a bit, but it's beautiful. I love the Spanglish palette because this is where it brings me, like when it comes to language. Miami has its own language. It's truly Spanglish, where we have muddled the Spanish language and the English language. And there are words we've created that don't actually exist anywhere on the planet. They exist now based on usage, but they're not real. They're not real words. Also, something about like kind of growing up in a Latin dominated community is, from an outsider's perspective, maybe from like a non-Latin perspective, you want to believe that it's a very homogeneous type of group, meaning all Latinos are the same. We're all the same. Mexicans, Colombians, Cubans, we're all the same. And within these cultures, within these nationalities, we are not the same. We have lots of kind of friction among countries, even within a country. We have the same type of racial issues that exist here in the US. And, it's just, it's almost, it's bittersweet because it's nice to think we're being viewed as like a growing population and that we have struggles and needs, and just like anyone else has struggles and needs. But the truth is that within each other we have a lot of issues in terms of like our politics and our beliefs and our priorities. And it's so similar. You have super conservatives, very, very religious, where religion and politics, they go hand in hand in many countries that our families are from, and it's very hard to separate that, or at least adopt the American way of life. So yeah, it's just very interesting, and that's always something very hard to kind of convey to people who are not from kind of that world. Also, and this is similar to other places, the socioeconomic kind of impact, where you go to school, what church you go to, who your family is in society. That is really kind of ingrained in a lot of, kind of the mother countries where our families are from. I know it exists still in Colombia for a family, for the family members of mine that are still there. It's very much, a bit of a caste system where you're born of a certain caliber, and all of society's built to at least keep you there, but you're not going to really go below there, and there is a below. There's just they're very strict divides, which I just feel is like incredibly ridiculous and unfair. I'm very American that way, in that if you work hard, you should be able to. There should be nothing that stands in your way. And if there's something that stands in your way, we need to fight through that. That's where we put our energy. But being born of somebody who is, farming a land does not make you destined to be a farmer. You can be whatever you want to be if you set kind of those goals. So I just put this shade in my eye. It's really pretty. It's called Ha Ha Ha. It's really, really just a beautiful neutral brown. I like it. It's already very sexy. I can stop right here and like not move forward, but I'm gonna move forward. I think I'm gonna go into muy excited right here. Yeah, like muy excited. That is something we say. I had to buy this palette just because of the names, because it's so much of how we speak is really in this palette. Pero like, there's a Valley Girl kind of twang that happens when you grow up in Miami. And even if you're not Hispanic, you get the twang. It's phenomenal. It took a really long time for me to break that twang. And now 20 years in New York has really helped me kind of put it on edge, on the shelf. But if I get around my friends who are from Miami, I slip into it real fast. Real fast. And it's sort of like a Valley Girlish kind of like, oh my God, no, pero why? Why would you ever? Don't you ever? Please, por favor, no lo puedo resistir. You're going into Spanish and English, and it's all fluid and it's chaotic and it's fun. It's fun. That also reminds me of home. Like when you go to a nail salon or a hair salon down there, just hearing other people's conversations is just priceless. Priceless. And again, it doesn't matter if you're Hispanic. You will take on this kind of way of speaking even if you're not Hispanic. Wow, that's so pretty. So these two colors I love together. So this was Muy Excited, which was the matte kind of orange, and this color, really, really pretty. The formula of Alamar, their formula of powders for their eyeshadows as well as their face powders are really, really phenomenal. I've tried that from them. I've also tried their eye brushes. I love their eye brushes. I have 2 sets of them. I just love them. I think they're very good quality synthetic brushes. And yeah, I think that's it for like what I've really, really tried from them. So which is the majority of what exists. So right now I'm putting on this, oh boy, very sparkly peach shade. And I don't know that I should have put it on this way, but we're gonna go with it because it's what it is. I shouldn't have put it on with a finger because it went a little everywhere, but it's this sort of peach color. It's called, oh, this is the Pero Like color. So this is really a beautiful, very sparkly shade. I don't know if it goes on. Oh, I have a mirror here. I don't know if it goes on very well with a brush. I haven't tried it. I just automatically like to put on sparkly shades with my finger. I like using my hands in my makeup application. I make sure to clean my hands really well before I start my makeup application, and I love using my hands. Didn't I use my hands to put on my foundation today? I think I did. It really is quite nice a lot of times. A lot of times products perform even better with the use of your hands, the warmth of your fingers, your skin responds to it. I'm sure you guys have all heard this all before, but it really is true. Really, really, really. Okay, here. So now I'm gonna move to this palette. So there's a lot of like pretty orange and everything, but I think what I want to do is I'm going to use, they have this teal and they have this teal. You know what? We're gonna use them. We're gonna use the first teal and then the dark teal. This is total Miami colors. These are the Miami Dolphins colors, which we're huge fans of in my family. Oh, so freaking pretty. I love that. I love that. So I'm using the shades Celia and Varadero. These two right here. Woo, these are pretty. Pretty shades. So yeah, I highly recommend, like I said, checking out that show if you can find it. I hope they'll post it somewhere. I don't know where they're gonna post it, but I hope someone picks it up and there's a way to like see it, because it's such a gem. Such a gem. And in fact, some of the actors actually ended up making quite a name for themselves. So in the future, they're just extremely talented actors, and the writing and everything. And I mean, if you really want to get a sense of a culture, of a city, of a place and a time, I mean, that is it. That is it. And it stands the test of time. I've caught episodes of it, and it's just as hilarious. It's just as relevant. You know, the struggles that come up. There's even some really beautiful, heartbreaking episodes that I think really speak to kind of the immigrant experience for many, not all, many. There's lots of stories to tell when it comes to, you know, when you're not from this country and you come, and that strife and that will that exists. I think it's just such a beautiful thing. I think that is quintessentially America. You know, America was born of immigrants. You know, if we were still of natives, things would look very different. But we were born of people who came here from lots of different places to do something, to escape something, to find some way forward with their families, with whatever it might have been. Now, how they went about it, that's a whole other kind of topic. Like, I won't even talk about it, 'cause it's just not worth getting into. But that is the story. That is the story of America. And that story just doesn't stop. You know, it doesn't stop because it's 2021 and we are where we are. We need to find a way through and evolve. And by the way, can we talk? I'm not a highlighter person, but I am using my Ofra Rodeo Drive. Oh my God. This is so good. It's so beautiful. Like really beautiful. Really shiny. When people say that Ofra makes amazing highlighters, do not ignore them. They want to steer you the right way. They really do. I pushed back getting Ofra highlighters for a super long time. But I caved in this last Christmas with this palette. And you see I took out actually 4 shadows. I decluttered those, and this palette I've assigned as my future travel palette because I can fit any of my Sydney Gray shadows or ColourPop shadows in here, kind of create my own palette. But I was really happy with the blushes in here, and these 2 shadows I thought were stunning. So I kept those. But yeah, I just thought this was such a great travel palette. It's a shame it doesn't have a mirror, but that's okay. That's okay. So that was Ofra. I used Ofra because Ofra is also a Miami company. Oh, and on my nails, can we talk about what's on my nails? I love this color, this shade. This is Kathleen Light's Lacquer nail polish in the color Lila, Lyla. Lila, I don't know how she pronounces it. She's a Spanglish chick too. It's such a beautiful, oh sorry, my fingers are dirty from the shadow. It's such a beautiful nude. It is like a real sandy, naked color. It has a little bit of pink, a little bit of peach, a little bit of brown. It's really, really beautiful. I love this color. It's gorgeous. I also just, in general, love her nail polishes. I loved her nail polishes when it was KL polish. And when she became Lights Lacquer, I've moved. I mean, I have a ton of KL polish. I have a ton of Lights Lacquer now. I love the formula. I love the thick, wide brush. For the most part, a lot of the formula is so thin, so it's really easy to dry. If you're into nail polish, I do recommend her polishes. They're incredible. And plus, she's just adorable. I mean, who doesn't love Kathleen Lights? She's like a beauty guru that has still maintained her crazy self and been able to still portray that authenticity. And I just applaud that. I applaud that. The girl is beautiful. I give her virtual hugs all the time because I don't know, sometimes when she talks, I feel like I'm her big sister, and I didn't ever get to be anyone's big sister. And there's just something about her that I'm just like, I want to hug you. I understand. You're gonna get through these troubles, I promise. She's just a sweetheart. She's a sweet, sweetheart. So yeah, this is what I meant by Miami. I wanted to have a video that just kind of all the little brands that I know that are based in Miami that make me feel like I'm connected to home. I'm even put on like a muumuu. This is a new muumuu. So like a caftan, if we're gonna be super fancy. But down in South Florida, my mom would call them muumuus. You know, it's just a big flowy piece of fabric that you don't have to worry about anything. You would put it over a bathing suit, or you would sleep in it, or you're just kind of like lounging around the house in it. I love these. These have been a godsend during quarantine and working from home and all this stuff. I have now amassed a muumuu collection, but I love this one. It's this kind of like burnt orangey color, and it has some gray tie-dye. It's really, really pretty. I love it. And it sort of goes with my eye look. That's what I wanted. What else do I need to do? I didn't have I do have a lip gloss from Alamar Cosmetics in Birthday Suit. But to make it a real Miami look, the one thing, if you're a Miami girl, is you must line your lips. That is, you have no way around it. The lining of the lips is a must. So I'm going to use the M Cosmetics color in Mink. Love this lip liner. I'm not into lip liners, but this one is up there in my faves. It's like, it's very, very creamy, goes on. It's a nice nudie neutral. Not too warm, not too cool. I'm gonna line them and fill them in a little bit. But growing up, you would not have caught me dead without a lip liner. You always, always wore a lip liner. It was a must. And of course, your lip liner was like 4 shades darker than whatever lip color you were putting on your lips. But that was just the way. So this is a nice scent to it. It's not a crazy scent, and it also has a nice paddle design, very similar to the Bobbi Brown. It is a thicker lip gloss, so it is not my favorite lip gloss, but I'm not a lip gloss person. But if I had to wear a lip gloss, I would much prefer to go the route of a gel, like a jelly kind of lip gloss, one that's not too gloopy. This one has some stick to it. I will say though, it also has some major shine. Major shine. This is why I forgive it. I forgive you all your indiscretions, Alamar birthday suit, because the lips look like this afterwards. I think I just need, you know what I wanted to use? I wanted to use the brightening powder for underneath the eye, because this stuff is really good. I'm not a brightening, I didn't use concealer, but if you use concealer and then you use this, it's pretty miraculous. Pretty miraculous. But that just sort of like will set everything. I'm gonna go around the nose too with it. Whew, but look at that highlight. I feel already like I'm in a different planet. Mascara. I wanted to put on mascara. I opened up a new mascara. I opened up my Monsieur Big from Lancome. I love this mascara, but actually this one is in the color like black brown. So I had never used it before. I like it. I like brown mascara. I feel like dark brown mascara is the way to go most days. I don't know why we always go to black. Black is a little too dramatic. Sometimes just by changing it up to brown and you just create the coolest look. But actually for this eye look, since it's so dramatic, I don't mind the black of it, but I just don't have a black one opened right now, and I don't feel like making that decision right now because I feel like that decision is going to be a tough one. I have a lot of mascaras too to get around, but this one is so pretty. If you're looking for volume and just, yeah, just the appearance of a lot of lashes, the Monsieur Big is really just a great formula. And I don't feel bad telling you that because truthfully, you don't have to pay full price for this mascara. They sell it in so many different like kits and 2 for 1 and all that stuff that I feel like you know, it's not really the cost that they kind of say it is. Yeah, okay, so that's that. Ooh, I love this eye look. I love this eye look. My little tribute to Miami. What else do I need to do? I need to be more glowy. So I'm going to spritz my face. I'm using the primer water from Smashbox. It's in my project pan, which I get to update this weekend. And I love primer water. And it's almost done. It's so nice. I have a little mini one. I love it. I love it. Definitely up there in my top, but look at how it made the skin just. And you know what? I'm gonna spritz perfume too. I have somewhere, the Cologne Beach from Bobbi Brown. Oh my goodness. This smells just like suntan lotion. This is not for everyone. This smells like copper tone suntan lotion. But one of my favorite scents on the planet is that scent. Is the scent is how you smell when you come off the beach and you have all that salt in your hair and the sand. It's on your skin, and it's a combination of just like the sun and all the sun tanning lotion or sunscreen you've been putting on, and it just becomes this body scent. And this, I feel like Beach by Bobbi Brown does that. This is incredible, and I love this. Oh my God, it's so good. It's so good. So yeah, that's it. And I would never wear my hair down in Miami. So this, my hair is staying in this little cuckoo bun because I lived in a cuckoo bun growing up. So that would be that. Wow, that flew by. Not for you, but for me. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed some of the products I use. I've gotten so many products recently that I'm going to be doing a lot of filming this weekend. I have some really interesting products that I want to share and try, but I did want to give Alamar Cosmetics a shout out because I do think what they're doing is really, really special, and it's worth checking out, and you can definitely get some deals on their site. It's just really, really beautiful, beautiful, minimal kind of packaging, and yet feels very sturdy and nice. They're just doing something really good, and I wanted to dedicate a video to them for the most part, and also to just chit chat. It's been a long week. It's been a long time since I sat here to do my makeup, and I wanted it to be a good one. So I hope your Friday night is amazing, and we will talk a few more times maybe this weekend. Okay, take care. Bye.